Hey everybody, just wanted to take a few moments and I want to talk about one price versus multiple prices. And here's what I'm wanting you to realize. If you sell multiple packages, obviously you have multiple prices, depending on whatever it is that you're doing. I have a friend of mine that sells advertising and he has many different packages, and depending on which package you buy, it's going to depend on your price. A lot of times with his salespeople, they'll put out a laundry list of here's all the packages, which one do you want? And that comes from not asking the customer enough questions to determine which package is best. And that's why when I talk about how I run my training, we change the conversation. I'm not here to teach you all of the packages. I'm not here to educate you on everything. My job as your salesperson is to find out what it is that you need based on the questions that I ask. Then I'm going to determine what that price is, and that's all we're going to talk about is that one price. And the reason is this avoids so much more or so much confusion around the situation. And I'm going to use something very simple. I mean, yes, I've done advertising. Yes, I've done mortgages. Same thing with mortgages. Every time I start talking to mortgage brokers, they start bringing up all these different things. And you can buy points and you can do this. And depending on this, you'll get this rate. Don't tell the customer all of that. Ask the questions that you need to determine the rate that they're going to get, figure up the fees that you have, and then when you come back and talk to the customer, you're talking real numbers. You're not negotiating before you ever get there. But I want to give you an easy example so that whoever's watching this clearly can understand what it is that I'm talking about. We have all bought cable TV at some point in our life. Now what you're going to see is an example here, and I want to cover this very clearly. The example we're going to see in just a moment is a gentleman who sells Dish Network. I could call DirecTV, it would be the same. I could call Time Warner, it would be the same. I can call Comcast. So any of you watching this that goes, oh, my representatives would never do that, you're kidding yourself. This was the first call I made for an example that I have here. And if you need me to, contact me in my email and I will contact your company and they will do the exact same thing. So I'm not attacking Dish Network. I just want you to realize we are the reason why customers get confused. We are the reason why they have no idea and they need to think about it, talk to their wife, do something. And here's what I want you to realize. When you're putting together, let's say Comcast or somebody came and hired me and said, all right, Byron, what I want you to do is put together a sales training for me. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is exactly what I did here. I'm going to call in and see what really happens in the call. Then the next question I'm going to ask is, what all do you need to determine a price? And here's what would happen. First, I need to know, what do you watch? I need to know that so that I can determine which package. I need everyone in the home. What do they watch? And here's the reason. If you talk to some people, all they watch is one channel. And that's it. But everybody else in the house watches something else. So when they buy the cheapest package out there, voila, you have someone mad at you. Now, don't get me wrong. You can come back in and add to it, but you're going to see here in a moment, and I'll discuss it in more detail. If you don't ask the right questions and get that customer to talk to you, customers don't watch channels. They watch shows. How in the world do you think Netflix came about? How in the world do you think Hulu came about? Those aren't channels. Those are companies that buy the rights to a show and they put it on it and people watch it, and that's what's killing cable companies. So I want you to realize, quit thinking in the world, oh, I watch this channel. Whatever that show is, if they moved it to another channel, you would watch the other channel. So that brings us to the next. So the first thing you got to know is, hey, what do they like to watch? So you can determine the package. The second thing is number of TVs. That's all you really need. If they've got 4 TVs, you know what the price is. If you know what the channels they watch, it ends up in a package, that's the package you recommend. So you get all that from asking just a few questions. Now, I also want you to look at objections, and here's why you need to probe deeper. If you look at cable, the number one complaint, other than, let's go on and get it out of the way, is cost. And all these people who buy Netflix, Hulu, and all these, they're spending more than they were paying for their cable, but that's another story for another time. But looking at objections, so the number one is money, of course, and the next one is number of channels that they're paying for that they will never watch. So if you're a sales rep and you're selling somebody cable news or not cable news, but cable whatever, their package, should you name off every channel? The answer is not no, but hell no. It's 200 channels and I watch 7, and you're going to see in this one it's 12 for my whole family. So when you're talking about 225 channels, I don't care about those other channels. I care about the 12 that I watch. So what we're going to do now, I want to roll you through this just so that you see. If you were talking to somebody, you want to know number of TVs, and of course you got to have the address for serviceability. I know all that, but what I'm talking about is to determine price, you got to know. So let's take a look at the first recording. Now, by the way, before we start playing this, what I want you to realize is this is a live call. I recorded it. They said they were recording, so there's no legal issue here. But I want you to realize what really happens in a call is what happens here. Also, I'm going to demonstrate to you how if I was in a training, I'm going to tell you where I would have sent this guy down many different paths. I was just being nice to him in this call because I wanted an example, and whoever's watching this, I don't want you to go, well, he was really mean to that guy. You were really, really mean. I want you to realize if I responded to him literally, I could have taken him down many paths that he didn't want to go. And I'll discuss them as we get there. So let's take a look. But the main thing here is he should have come with one price. You're going to hear 6. Let's see where we go.
On my end, it says that you went to our website to get our contact information. On our website, it clearly states our promotions where we can guarantee your monthly rate for the next 2 years. Is that why you called in?
I didn't really look that far.
Okay. Well.
But that's okay. That's I'm looking at. Yeah, I didn't look. I just figured I'd call and ask because they go all over the board. So
yeah,
okay.
Of course. So yeah, we can guarantee your rate. On your TV utility for the next 2 years, and we have packages starting as low as $59.99 a month. What do you like to watch?
I pretty much just watch news and sports, just basic shows. Okay, as you could see over my left shoulder, I had everything laid out. When I started this call, it was sitting right there on my TV screen. And so when I'm rolling through that is exactly for what we're talking about right now. I'm giving feedback on a call that happened live, and I don't want you to think I was changing the story as I was going through the role play to throw him off cue. But here's what I'm wanting you to realize. I called him for a reason. Yes, I may have come in through his website. Well, I'm going to tell you, that kind of gave me the creeps when he said that, because I don't like that. Yes, the telephone number would do it, but don't tell a customer how you marketed to them. You know it. It captures it. Shut up. Don't talk about that. But notice what happened in that call, and I promise you, when I do role plays, I'm right there with you, and I interact. So when he took me to the website, I started looking at the website. I had not looked beforehand. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and all that does now is distract me. I'm no longer listening to him. Now, the one thing he did do, he asked a great question. What do you like to watch? And I gave him specific answers. And you saw it was right over my shoulder. But I didn't give him all the detail. I didn't say I like this, I like that. That's not what I told him. I gave him the basics. Isn't that how most people respond? They think you know, and it's no big deal to them. What do you need to know all that for? Keep in mind, they don't sell your product. You do. So as you go through this, you'll notice I wasn't mean to him at all. I gave him the basics, and I moved on. But I do want you to pay attention to what was happening there. Because one thing, I watch HBO. I didn't mention it. I was watching Game of Thrones and Billions. At that time, Game of Thrones was in the last 4 or 5 episodes. Dish Network does not sell HBO. Once I get it installed, guess when I'm going to find that out? When I turn it on and it's no longer there and I'm in a contract, and I'm going to be livid. So I'm just wanting you to realize, as a rep, you've got to tackle that beast, because it's going to be a beast if someone watches HBO. He never found it out. Never. And by the way, this call was 25 minutes, and I'm not going to put you through the pain and suffering, but we're going to go to the next step to see what happened.
News, sports, and basic shows. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay. So the package that I want to suggest would be the America's Top 120 Plus, because that has a sports package in it. It has all of the news channels, and it's priced at the cost of a basic cable package at $69.99 a month. So, yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. So let's look at what happened here. So he makes a recommendation. Now think about it. At first he mentioned $59.95. Now he's at $69.95. Here's the problem, ladies. I mean, he goes, and what I would suggest, well, hell, he was suggesting it. Just suggest it and close. Ask for the order. Now, does he have enough to give a full price? No, but he sure is giving that price. So let's rock and roll. And now I want to give you one hint before we move forward here. The average household in America, all homes, is 3.5 TVs. So if you're giving a price on one TV as a guess, well, that's probably not going to work out too well for you. And you'll see as we go through this, instead of him closing, he just made the suggestion, and then that gave me the opportunity to come back and ask him a question about the other price that he gave. So let's take a look at that. It's a very short little clip here. What's the $59? I'm looking at the
$59 package that I mentioned earlier on. That package has all the ESPNs. It also has all the news channels. It's got all of your locals. That package price point, $10 less. At $59.99 a month.
So there we go. So now I brought up the price. Had he not brought up the price, I would see it on the website. There's 4 little choices there, and I could have taken him down that path. Okay, what's the other package have, and what's the other package have? In other words, you're bringing up things that's putting the customer in control of the call. You're making it to where you can't truly close the business because you've brought up something, and the customer's going to ask. Now, as a representative, you're proud to talk about it because it's what you sell. But ladies and gentlemen, he's only going to buy one package. And how many TVs do you think he wants the service on? All of them. And so without knowing the number of TVs in that home, this price is not going to be right. So let's take a look at the next step.
Anyone in the household who likes to watch that kind of programming, Cartoon Network, CMT, which is Country Music Television, CNBC.
Now what you're hearing here, and I did you the courtesy. For 3 minutes, the man told me every channel in that package, 190 of them. So you can thank me now for not putting you through it. But here's what I brought in this little clip to give you a hint. He had never asked me, other than myself, who in my home watches TV. He never asked. So he's brought up the Cartoon Network, assuming I might have kids. He still does not ask. He does not confirm a thing. He just kept going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. It was almost 3 minutes of him puking this in my ear. So was I happy? Nope. Was he hitting the number thing of channels that I'm never going to watch? Yep. So is he solidifying the purchase, or is he making it where, oh my God, I'm paying for a lot of things I'm never going to watch? You can answer that yourself. So let's go to the next piece.
Velocity, another channel for automotive enthusiasts. Barrett Jackson's Meekham's Auto Auction. I don't even know if you know what that is. I watch it. But yeah.
So I'm laughing here at the end, and I want to tell you, keep in mind, I do this for a living, and I have a trained ear, and I could have hit him. Number one, he said, you probably don't even know what that is. So he's implying I might be stupid or just ignorant to that channel, and he's a genius. But here's what I want you to realize. Human nature, guys. We want to talk about what we like. So human nature, he's talking about Velocity Channel, and he's talking about these car shows and stuff, and which I have to admit, as a guy who likes that stuff, it's fun to watch when you see some of these older cars going for ridiculous prices. But my point is, did I ever bring that up? And based on over my shoulder there, did I mention Velocity? Did I mention cars? I didn't. I just don't watch that channel that often because I don't have time. I work for a living. But I do want you to realize is with him talking about that, he wants to talk about himself. I just laughed because I could have said, look, I'm not stupid. I just don't watch that channel. But either way, I didn't because I didn't want to be mean. So let's see where we go from there.
And We for Women's Entertainment, if you have family members that like, that sort of thing along with Bravo and Ian.
Again, back to the family member, We TV, still didn't ask. Well, here's the problem I have. I'm looking at what you got here, and there's no hallmark. And my wife, we've looked at YouTube, the YouTube TV, where you can broadcast it in on 3 TVs.
Right. No hallmark on that either.
Yeah, no hallmark on that. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's like I'm gonna have to be honest. I probably would be going with YouTube TV just because out of convenience type thing. But so I would have to go to the 79. So let's look at it. Now he's talking. I brought up Hallmark. Had I not, the guy installs, man, then I'm bumping a package. I feel like I've been lied to. There goes the trust. I'm mad at Dish. It's not Dish's fault. The guy didn't tell me. This is a typical call. You went off of generic answers. You have no idea what the package is. So you're going to see here he's going to bounce up to the 79 and then back down to the 59. He's all over the board. And my whole point there is, and I hope you're getting it, is ask the right questions, get the information you need, and recommend the price. I'm not going to make you suffer through any more of this. I just told you what's really going to happen. We get in there. I've got 4 TVs. So after he even gets me narrowed down on the package and the Hallmark channel, he misses that too, because then you got 4 TVs. I don't care what you sell, ladies and gentlemen. If you're given multiple prices, you need to narrow it down. I have a brother-in-law who sells blinds, and in that, he likes to give 3 prices. And my question is, why? Look at the house, ask the customer what they want, give them what they want. It's only one price. If you're selling advertising, it's only one price. Now, does that mean you can't change the price? No, that's not what I'm saying. But you are the professional. You're the person that's supposed to give them a recommendation. And if you want to make a lot more money, narrow it to one price, tell them what to do, sign them up, handle any objections that may come up if they do. Hey, it's been a pleasure doing this video. I hope you like it. Hope it helps you. If you do like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com at Byron Lindsay. And if on Facebook, just feel free to put in a like and give any comments. Comments are always replied to. It's been a pleasure doing the video. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time.